Export Products Atlas. I need information on how to package cashew for export. Export Products Atlas. Okay, how about information on the quality requirements of ginger for export? Export Products Atlas.
All right, what of information on how to do my pricing and costing for sesame seed export?
Export Products Atlas.
What if I want information on how to find buyers abroad for dried hibiscus flowers?
Export Products Atlas.
How can I get information on how to export yam tubers and prevent spoilage?
Export Products Atlas.
What if I need information on how to prevent quality issues in soybeans export?
Export Products Atlas.
How do I know the documentation requirements for the export of sheer nuts?
Export Products Atlas.
So, are you telling me that this one book contains all these information about exporting different products?
Yes, it is your ultimate guide to successfully export 20 key agro-commodities.
It is not just a book, it is an atlas that provides comprehensive export products information in colorful charts and pictures. It is easy to read, saves you time, conserves your energy, and it's pocket-friendly. The Export Product Atlas is the most important book you will ever read for successful export business. It is a one-stop shop for all the information required to export a particular product. So, either as an intending or current exporter, or banker, funding export business, this is a must-have for all and sundry in the sector. To place your pre-order, call or chat 080920000424. Export Products Atlas, your ultimate guide to successfully export 20 key agro-commodities.
Thank you again for joining today. We are in part 4 of the Nigerian export crisis, addressing the quality problem, part 4. If you are just joining us, part 1, 2, and 3 has been done, and it's available for free on our website, e-learning platform, globaltradecollege.com, globaltradecollege.com. So you are here to place your order for one of the most important export books you will have. This is not a book, it's a manual, it's a reference guide, so that if you need to, maybe you are financing or you want to export, or you need to get an information on, let's say, sesame seed. You can get information around the documentation, information around the quality specification, the market, top 10 markets where the demand is, what do they use it for, what are the options available for you to find buyer, how do you start the process, and even the pitfalls and how to mitigate the pitfall. I believe this is one of the material that every exporter have. Remember, it's available free of charge on our e-learning platform, globaltradecollege.com. E-learning platform, globaltradecollege.com. And you can get a link to this program every week from our Telegram channel, African Export Business Platform. Okay, let's start. Again, we'll go through the step-by-step export process. We pretty much involve preparation. What we've been discussing, or what we typically even discuss in this session every week, is on preparation. Preparation, preparation, preparation. With preparation, you have what it takes. You acquire skill to be able to promote. Promoting effectively means you'll be able to get purchase order. With purchase order come procurement or production. Because when you have purchase order, you want to procure or produce if you are a manufacturer. Then packaging and labeling of the goods for shipment. Then pre-export documentation. And then port clearance and inspection. Then post-export documentation. Port-to-port shipment, document presented to the buyer or its bank. And then inspection is done at the export market. Now, in the course of doing this, the most critical part is number 1, which is preparation. Preparation, meaning if you understand the issue of preparing and it's done very well, then it becomes a lot easier for you to be able. It becomes a lot easier for you to be able to prevent what we have been talking about for 3 weeks now, which is the issue of rejection. The issue of rejection. The essence of preparation is to know your product well enough in order to prevent rejection. Last week, we talked about documentation, and incidentally, last week we had an incident with a case study on rejection of product based on documentation. But the rejection was an Indian mango shipped from India to US by air, with all of them rejected because of a documentation. So look at documentation last week. Remember the top reason why Nigerian products are rejected. One of them is documentation. So we've looked at salmonella because of rejection. We've looked at the documentation and source of rejection. And today we are looking at aflatoxin. Let's summarize again what is quality about. It encompasses a range of factors. Factors that determine a product's suitability for its intended purpose and its ability to meet the expectation of the buyer. To meet the expectation of the buyer. Out of the 9 elements of quality, our focus in this conversation is on the last 2, safety and conformance, because my focus is on agri export, or rather agri commodity export. So I've been focusing my attention on conformance and safety, even though some people, depending on the nature of the product, performance is an evidence of quality, reliability for some is an evidence of quality, durability for some is a sign of quality, serviceability for some is a sign of quality, aesthetic for some is a sign of quality, the features, attribute is a sign of quality, the perceived quality based on branding is a sign of quality. Then safety, conformance is a sign of quality. Safety and conformance. Is the product safe for human consumption? Does it conform to the standard set by the country at destination for such product to be allowed into the country? Remember again, one of the problems we're trying to solve is this data, which shows that 258 rejection in the last 5 years from one continent. North America, South America, Asia, Middle East are not involved in this. Only the EU. Ghana rejection is 85, South Africa is 54, Nigeria is 58, even though Nigeria export less than South Africa. After South Africa, agro-commodity export is about 15 billion. Nigeria agro-commodity export is not up to 3 billion. In fact, the whole of non-oil export is just about 5.4 billion, of which agro-commodity is just a part of it. And that data reveals that every week, a product of Nigeria is rejected. Every week. Every week, a product of Nigeria is rejected. So the goal of this conversation is to change the narrative. At least for those that are here, it's good you know the reason and know how to ensure it does not affect you. And know how you ensure it does not affect you. 1.34 weekly, 5.38 monthly, 64.5 annual, and in the last 5 years, 258 rejection. 258 rejection. Majority of rejection is from Greece, but we also have rejection from Germany, from the United Kingdom, from Ireland, from Poland, from Belgium, from Netherlands, from Spain, from Italy, and from France. So today, we are looking at preventing aflatoxin-induced rejection. That's the focus today. Preventing aflatoxin-induced induce rejection. Sorry, before I talk about that, let me talk about this. Before I talk about that, look at the reason for rejection. Salmonella, certification, documentation, aflatoxin, mold, pesticide residue are the major reason for rejection. Now, let's talk about aflatoxin. It's a type of mycoxin, which is a toxic substance produced naturally by certain kind of mold fungi. The main fungi that produce this is called Aspergillus flavus and Aspergillus parasiticus. These molds are prevalent in warm and humid regions and can contaminate various agricultural crops. If you look at the right on the screen, you will see corn and you will see granite and you see the mold growing on it. Some people will just remove that mold and think this thing can still be consumed. The real issue here is not even the mold, it's the metabolite of the mold. It's the metabolite of the mold that is called aflatoxin. The metabolite of the mold that is called aflatoxin is the metabolite of the mold. Is the metabolite of the mold. Why is it that this product, this is not allowed in many countries? Why did they reject it? It is because of the following: acute aflatoxicosis in human, liver cancer, immune suppression, growth failure in children. Can you see the implication of this item or substance? You find it in animal feed, in crop, in food, or direct contact with human. It increases the overall burden of cancer, and that's the reason why many countries don't want it. They don't want it because of the implication on the public health. The implication on the public health in those countries. The implication on the public health in those countries is the reason why a number of them do not want it. A serious issue, I must say.